What is up with it? Today we are going to be watching a sneak peek preview of Red Black Koby versus Green Jinbe. Shoutouts to the devs for giving us a super early look at these leaders and how they will play. Um, in yesterday's video, we saw Shirahoshi and Nami, and to be honest, I'm not that excited about Shirahoshi, but both of these decks I'm really excited about. Namely, Koby being a red black navy slash sword type that has the effect your sword type characters can attack characters the turn they're played. So all of your sword characters are going to go ahead and have a pseudo rush. Also, once per turn, and this is on either player's turn by the way, when one of your navy type characters with an original power of 7,000 power or less is removed from play by one of your opponent's effects, instead you may place 3 cards from your trash on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is really good for playing versus like Control and Nell. You no longer have to worry about Gadatsu, Yamato. You don't have to worry about any triggers. Like your cards just get to be protected, right? Also, obviously, very good versus Lucci. And then second, we have the green Jinbei that is end of your turn. If you have 6 or less in your hand, set up to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type characters cards and add 1 Dawn as active. So that's pretty nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and play a on our 2 Dawn turn. We're gonna go ahead and play a This Is My Era-esque effect. Look at the top 3, grab a navy card and add it to your hand. The other 2 will go to your trash. So this is going to be good to find our key pieces as well as fill our trash. Okay, so this is going to be a 5 cost, 6,000 power that on play minus 2,000 to one of your opponent's characters. And remember, this card has pseudo rush. Also, give one of your leaders the ability to attack your opponent's active characters. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and play another searcher. I'm going to be able to look at the top of our deck. Also has the effect that you can activate main, trash her to give one of your leaders or characters plus 1,000 for the turn. Um, Now we have the 8 cost Koby, the secret rare Koby being a very strong card on play, allowing you to attack active characters. Either itself or one of your other characters can do that. Also, when attacking, give one of your leader or characters plus 1,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. Also, that card just being phenomenal art. This 1-drop Shirahoshi going to be similar to a Bonnie-esque effect where we get to rest it, look at top 5, and add a Merfolk or Fishman type character to our hand. Good in both Jinbei and Shirahoshi. We're going to go ahead and swing 7 fighting at the Koby, and we're going to be forced to take. I believe we have too many cards in our hand to activate the Jinbei leader skill to set our oh no, we have enough. So we can go ahead and set the searcher back as active as well as one of our Dawn. That is really, really nice. Not letting our opponent be able to swing into um, the searcher is really, really incredible, honestly. You can see the synergy already. So now if this Koby doesn't have any sort of removal, we're once again going to get to go plus off that next turn. Okay, so here we're just going to go ahead and counter this 5k swing. Deciding that staying healthy is going to be important. Ooh, really nice artwork of the 4-drop Kuzan, going to let us draw a card. I am just really, really impressed. So this Kuzan is going to go ahead and be a little different than the one that we're used to. This one is going to go ahead and allow us to trash the top of our deck. And then when attacking, choose one of your leaders or characters with the Navy. It can attack active characters. So next turn, we'll be able to swing this Kuzan at something, and then we'll be able to swing the Koby leader at anything on their board, even if that character is active. So here we have the 5-drop Smoker, which is going to allow us to add an active Dawn. We'll restand a Dawn rather. And then we will go ahead and search with this Shirahoshi. And I believe because we countered last turn, we're going to have only 6 cards in our hand. And we're going to, oh, we're not going to be able to restand the Dawn because Tashigi says that, oh no, we can. Really? What is this? What does this Smoker say? I thought it said you can't restand Dawn for the rest of the turn. But maybe I'm mistaken on that. Wow, we have a really large hand as Koby. Okay, gonna go ahead and play that 5-drop we searched earlier. So we can go ahead and minus the Smoker. This is a really cool, because then what we're gonna be able to do is we're gonna go ahead and be able to swing at life. And now we're gonna be able to give our Koby the ability to swing into that Smoker. Oh, actually, we're going to give her the ability. That's even better. That is even, you can really see the synergy there. So going to go ahead and take that attack. Oh, and now we can actually boost her as well. Wow. So she's currently a 7, but then when she attacks, she gets another 1,000. And she can also give Koby the ability to swing into the 1-drop even though it's standing. So this is really cool. I gotta say, Bandai is really cooking with this card design. You know, a lot of people think red and black can't coexist as a color combo because they want to do such different things. Oh, he's giving us 2/2Ks. Wow. But here we're just really showing, hey, we can be really creative with what we're looking to do, you know, with the card design. And I gotta say, I'm super impressed with the way that Bandai is able to create these decks. Honestly, I think they're really creative. We're gonna go ahead and play this Jinbe. We saw it in the Shirahoshi. It's going to be able to give one of our characters, including itself, Rush. So really phenomenal card. It also can rest a 5 or less on play. I don't think, yeah, there was nothing to rest, so we just didn't go for it. I would be interested in seeing what we decided to swing at with this. Our Smoker does have Banish, so I would have not been surprised if we swung at life. I almost feel like maybe we could have swung this Smoker last. And really decided. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Rad Beam. One of the great parts of Koby being a red leader is he does have access to that Rad Beam. Really strong counter event. Going to go ahead and swing 7. It looks like we're swinging at life. I'm not sure I fully understand why we swung 7 at life with our Jinbe, and we swung 7 at the character with Smoker. I feel like we could have definitely switched up the order we did that, but you know, these are just people that are part of the One Piece team. They're not necessarily super competitive players, right? We're watching this not to see the max potential of what we can do competitively. We're just trying to get a sneak preview at, you know, kind of what the game designers intend the deck to look like. Oh, wow. This Helmeppo is going to be able to play an 8 cost or less sword character from our trash after trashing a card from our hand. So here for 6 Dawn, we're going to go, I believe we also get to draw a card. Let me double check on that. But anyways, it's going to allow us to play this Koby that we just discarded with it. Which is just crazy. We get to play, yeah, you do get to draw one, by the way. But we now get to play this Koby from our trash for 6 Dawn. Really, we played it from our hand. The one downside is it goes to the bottom of our deck at the end of the turn. But honestly, um, just being able to give our leader a pseudo 6k for a turn, as well as having an 8 cost 9,000 power rush, is just already just so strong. All of that for 6 Dawn. And, we cycled our hand as well with that draw one. So that Helmeppo, really, really phenomenal. We're going to go ahead and minus this Smoker, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and be swinging. Oh, never mind. The minus is only on play, not on attack. My apologies. So we swung 7 at 7 and just demanded 1k. We're going to go ahead and swing 7 at 7 again. And this Helmeppo can attack because remember, all of our sword type characters have pseudo rush from our Koby leader. Okay, and now we're going to... We can attack active characters with this Koby if we would like. Are we going to... We are going to swing 10 at the Jinbe. We're going to have to go ahead and put 2 cards on the bottom of our deck. But now our Koby leader, I would assume, is what we're going to be giving 1k to. I assume. Oh. That's insane behavior, I feel like. We're giving something that gets 1k attack until the end of our opponent's turn. We're giving the thing that isn't even going to exist on our opponent's turn the boost. So that's interesting decision making. But again, we're not here to see the absolute max potential of a deck played correctly. We're here just to get a nice little sneak preview. And I don't know about you guys, but I am really excited for these decks. Especially being at 1 life, I would think that we would have wanted to be able to play a little bit more defensive, but maybe he felt like the only way he was going to be able to kill that that Jinbe was going to be by swinging just slightly bigger at it. Our opponent had already given us some 2Ks, so I think that's a fairly reasonable assumption that swinging 11 rather than 10 makes it significantly more likely for us to connect there. Okay, gonna go ahead and play another 1-drop searcher. This is gonna be more of a generic searcher where you just on play you get to do it. You don't have to rest it or any sort of silly shenanigans like that. We have a new counter event that's going to plus 3,000 for 1 Dawn. So obviously working really well with the Jinbe, as the Jinbe does get to restand a Dawn at the end of your turn. We're going to go ahead and replay the 6 cost Jinbe, which of course can rest a 5 or less from our opponent's board if they have one. They don't. However, we can give it rush. So essentially being a 6/8 rusher, that if it sticks on board, we'll get to give something else rush next turn. I think this Jinbe card is really phenomenal. I think it's a little bit worse in this matchup than it is in most matchups because it doesn't really ever get its value as an on play because our opponent is turning their entire board sideways anyways. But we do get to restand this Jinbe, which is really good. However, we do have the Koby in hand. So I would expect that we're going to be able to swing into this anyways. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play the 1-drop searcher. We're not losing any Dawn efficiency here. This is something that I really think is a really under-discussed form of power creep. Is normally this late in the game, you can't really afford to play these searchers. They get kind of clumped in your hand. But here, playing it is going to be the same as just attaching a Dawn. Because we can, if we want to, oh man, and we have this Helmeppo again. into the Koby to cycle our hand and then play the Koby from trash. Such a good combo. Such a good 2-card combo. Um, but as I was saying, we can trash this 1-drop, and it's the same as if we had just attached a Dawn, but we also got the search, right? So just really really strong card, if you ask me. Just, not having the spandams of the world being stuck in your hand at the end of the game, where you can't play it because you're too busy playing your big characters, you're too busy having to swing. Um, really great. Oh, wow. So we're swinging big. He really seems to like this idea of boosting the Kobe that's going to the bottom of the deck at the end of the turn, which I think is really interesting decision making. I'm not going to lie. Really interesting decision making. Um, yeah, I don't see the vision personally. I'm also kind of confused why he's plus 2,000. Oh, it's because one of the 1,000 is from the 1-drop that I was just glazing. Um, okay. And the one Helmeppo doesn't have anything to attack because it can only attack active or rested characters. Okay, so here we go. Here's going to be that event that's just going to plus 3,000. Um, very good. It also, that event has an activate main effect. It's not just a counter event that you can rest a Dawn to rest one of your opponent's, I believe, 5 or less characters. So 2 cost essentially to rest a 5. Not a horrible card. Yeah, this Helmeppo is like really been the star of the show for this Koby. Just being able to do that combo where for 6 Dawn you're filtering your hand while playing an 8/9 that also has rush is just really cool. I will say something that seems notable to me is they don't seem to be playing any of the 7 drops in Goku. They're also not running any of the other um, like generically good older cards. Like we haven't seen any Rebecca, we haven't seen, like a Gecko Moira or a Brooke or um, anything like that, which, fair enough. I'm sure they're trying to show off other things. But even the Sengoku is a new. Wow, we've actually resolved this 3 times. This is insane. We've drawn 3 Helmeppo and 3 Koby, which we have been playing a lot of Searchers. And we have been drawing cards every single time we play the Helmeppo, but man, it must feel good to draw your 2-card combo 3 different times. Um, I just can't believe we keep giving the thing 1,000 power that is going to leave the board. That's so crazy to me. Um, like, do we really need to be swinging 14 at 7? Is that real? Like, he's gonna really counter out of 13? Is that really what I'm supposed to believe? Um, but interesting to see that, at least from what we're seeing, it kind of. Also, we didn't swing our Helmeppo. Like, we could have swung 7 first at the Smoker with the Helmeppo that can only swing at active characters or only swing at characters. And then what that would have allowed us to do is like bait a card out of their hand, because obviously they're going to counter that. Um, but it's okay. Really interesting to see. They're just playing like basically no removal from what we've seen. Also, I feel like he's gone through like a huge percentage of his deck at this point. Surely he does not play the 4th um, Helmeppo Koby. This is a really cool matchup though. I hope I haven't checked yet, but I hope they also post one for Katakuri. I would Love to watch one for Katakuri as well. Gonna go ahead and play another Smoker. It feels like this Smoker card is really carrying green. All the new green decks are just playing it. Yeah, we're just gonna ship it at life. Makes sense. Our opponent is at 1. He seems to refuse to play blockers like the new 7-drop Sengoku, etc. Let's just... Oh, never mind. He's not even shipping it at life. He's shipping it at Helmeppo. I feel like perhaps we could have just pressed W from the Jinbe's perspective. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe swinging at board there was the correct decision. But it's hard for me to imagine that us continuing to do this board trading is going to be very good for the... Oh, this is going to be that new 6-cost event. Really cool card. Let me just double check what it does. Okay, main 6-cost Navy sword. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4,000 power during this turn. Then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. So gonna be able to honestly overspend on the Smoker. The Smoker was played for 5 Dawn and we used 6 Dawn to remove it. But that art looks really cool, and I think that card does definitely have some potential. I mean, being a 6-cost event is really expensive. So I wouldn't be that surprised if it doesn't see play, but it's definitely not horrible. Grabbing the new 4-cost with the crazy goon art. It's going to be a blocker that also minuses power. I believe it minuses 6,000 power on play, which is a lot. Oh my god, we're swinging 14 at Helmeppo. That's... How much more value can a single Helmeppo get? How much more value can a single Helmeppo get is all I gotta say about that. Surely we're not countering this. Oh, wow. We are. Wow. We have all the counter in the world. We're going for game next turn. That's the only explanation. 2-2 brings us up to 11. And then 4 more brings us up to 15. Yeah. Wow. That was a crazy counter. Okay, so we have Hody Jones. Basically telling our opponents, hey, if you don't kill me this turn, don't even worry about having a blocker, because it won't matter. So you should probably go for game this turn. That said, we have those counter events in our hand. It looks like we only have like 4 or 5 cards. But we can't do the usual math of each card is 2K. Okay, gonna go ahead and start with a 10. So we're telling our opponent, hey, I'm gonna go 10-12. He's gonna go ahead and take. Is this a bait? It kind of seems like he probably just doesn't have it. I would love to know what they're saying. They seem like they're having a lot of fun though. What a beautiful game. This was a really fun watch, honestly. Okay. Oh, all bricks. Yeah, man, that man was dead. We could have gone 6-6 and he was dead. Oh, very fun, very exciting. I'm personally pretty excited for both of these decks. I think Jinbe kind of looks like he still needs a fair bit of help. I'm not exactly sure what he needs, but I'm not super impressed by him. I think he's super carried by the one Jinbe 6-cost. Everything else seems kind of mid. His leader effect is definitely not bad though. Meanwhile, Koby looking a lot more like a complete deck. Super excited for Koby. I'm sure actual lists that we play will be very different than the one we just saw, but really cool conceptually to see like what the devs are kind of looking at. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.